Well, as you earlier on, we did talk to the public relations officer and spokesman in the Leone Judiciary. We will tell you about waiting and they do so far, especially with setting up of and the electoral court. We will look inside electoral offense system. In name one more time, now Moses Lamin Kamara. Good morning, one more time. Welcome to the program, Moses.
Yeah, good morning, listeners.
Yes. So generally, we see plenty of reforms they take place now the Leone Judiciary. Just give an update so far on the reforms that they will not happen.
Yes. One for tell Una, thank you for giving this opportunity. Often I can recall from 1910, it's very difficult for the judiciary move out to the people and talk. And as a result, we be done the let the people then make their own decision, their own thoughts without reaching them. But under the leadership of the Honorable Chief Justice Abdullah Chan, we began to create the Public Relations Office, and we, the leadership, strongly believe there is a need for the judiciary interface with the public, that is getting the views of the public about the activities of the judiciary, and also the judiciary inform the public about their own activities. And that don't bring some level of trust and some level of reforms, because most of the reforms the way we undertake, they are views of the people. One of them is like the bail and sentencing policy we be done the work on for a very long time, headed by the Honorable Justice Mac, who is also a Supreme Court judge. We talk to the people and waiting at some of the concerns, and the people then they say, well, one of the concerns that we get now the fact that we bail policy and sentencing policy, they create overcrowding in prison, and there are certain times for offenses then the person not supposed for the in prison, the day in prison. Well, the judiciary, if you watch at section 120 subsection 3, they tell you say we are subjected to the constitution, not to any other political party, not to any structure, but to the constitution and the laws of this country. So when then people they also raise them concern, they also we see and say, well, we cannot do anything, even though they are genuine concern. You go see maybe somebody going to prison for something if you get the opportunity, then if I don't resolve them without going to prison. So we not get anything for do because we get what we call, they operate under a very limited space within the law. If it is not within the law, then we have nothing to do. So then say, okay, let me see how best we do some reforms within the law system. We can with the bail and sentencing policy, we can with so many changes then within the judiciary. One of the changes that we in with is the fact that we will get what we call a mobile application. The mobile application will track down every case where they come in within the judiciary. Like for instance, assume you say a criminal case come and the case name McKinney. If you feel say your case need to move at a very speedy rate, because expeditious trial is part of our core values. So if you feel say your case need to try at a speedy stage, you can meet any of the Supreme Court judges or any senior judge, you report the matter. And that senior judge can get access, the login, and watch waiting at the status of the case na McKinney. You don't need like for talk to the judge or the magistrate there. No, it's just the login and say, well, you will say the 17th, you will not be appear, but in the show we say you appear. And this now be the statements where you be make. And when I end the statements with this, sorry. Then after
so the application available for everybody,
for judges and magistrates now a note application like where you they get into the mobile apps. No, this is just for the judiciary, but it was built by IDT Labs and funded by UNDP. And over the years, we don't embark more like last year. We embarked on massive training on case management. When we talk about the case management, it is evident that because of the public trust where people then get on the judiciary, the workload will increase. If you take the number of judges and magistrates that we have currently, it's something like 65 or less than that, you understand? And we get a total of 7 million people. So assuming say you divide 7 million by 65, then you will determine like the workload where we get, okay. And also backed by the increase in crime. But waiting the happen is the fact that with the mobile apps, we track every case and we know the stages of the cases, and with the case management can can revitalize and give some added value within the judiciary. As the public, they raise concerns, say, hey, we cases them, then they turn a court. We also tell them, say, yes, now because of the increase in number of cases and the number of judges and magistrates we get. So it is because of that concern raised by the people, you see the Honorable Chief Justice be talk to government, we government be approved 11 judges there, of which 10 are the High Court judge and 1 are the Court of Appeal, and also about 4 magistrates there, for let we able to meet the demand of the people there. And the case management, they tell you, say, we, the judiciary, and the judiciary, because when we talk about the judiciary, we talk about the judges, the magistrates, and we, the support staff there. So the lawyers, they are not part of us, and the police, they are not part of us. So in the courtroom, in a formal courtroom, we only get 2 people in the within the judiciary, where we get control over. One, the judge or the magistrate, and then the registrar or the clerk. We want to make that very clear to the people.
Let me look at this bail and sentencing policy. We don't begin operate, so we don't begin enforce them.
Well, unfortunately, the last parliament for PASAM and under the CP, but it was not. But like for the bail policy, we don't see how best we try for see we put that into practice. Now, the bail policy, they try for say you get certain offenses then upon first appearance, you not for go, they not for send you now the maximum prison, you understand. One, for cases then way the sentence engaged from 5 years downwards, they're not for seize you bail. Now we serve as the judiciary, we can realize say of which instance if you hold somebody, you send somebody at the correctional center, where at the end of the day you can prove say this person is not guilty of the offense. It's one thing.
When they see magistrates and judges for minor offense, then people and they send people on remand.
Yeah, my brother, if we don't have issues of concern, we need to talk about reforms. And the question is, there is reform. What are the reforms? So because we know say there are certain existing structure where by law they restrict we for do certain things then. So we say now, let we look at the law, let we reform the law. And one of the things that we say is in the bail and sentencing policy is the fact that one, for minor offenses like traffic offenses besides motor manslaughter, then criminal trespass, then affecting the day, when you can upon first appearance you forget self-bail. You don't need for say fend somebody for bail you. You understand? We give you self-bail. Then 2, also on that policy, we they try for say anybody like a lactating mother, you understand, a pregnant woman, somebody with a below 18 years, you understand, somebody with sick, somebody of old age, if in can't na court, except if na a serious offense like offenses that really attack the death penalty. But even at that, if the judge feels say there is a credible person, like for instance, you then Ayasu, you are a very you know the hide or asthma there, I no go hide on Mabel. He come and say, this person una hand over, give me this person. Because the essence of bail, now for let you assure the court say, if una give me this person, whenever una need this person they can. So if the person they can accord, it don't mean say you will go bail them for the go with an accord. The court will only want see you in a situation wherein the person is sick, or maybe the person not able can, so you go can and notify the court. So that's now one good thing about the bail policy. Say somebody of age pregnant woman, there is no need for lay, we send in a prison. Not when it comes to sentencing. And also, we want to make it clear to people, and because there has been this concept in the mind of journalists, in the minds of politicians, in the minds of the traditional leaders, say if people commit crime, there are certain crimes, they're not for bail, they're not for grant bail. Or to a point that people feel say when it comes to the issue of bail, they should be consulted. The law not tell we say the bail is at the discretion of the judge. And we want to make it clear say bail for every alleged crime committed, you understand, can be granted. So even for murder, so if somebody they say in kill, if the judge in wisdom, in legal wisdom, feels say that person should be granted bail, or that person come with a credible surety, you understand, that person must be granted bail. We want to make it clear because this is a station where people they listen to widely. So
the issue of bail don't begin come so many misunderstanding and misinformation among the one that we can commit crime, we can end up on a court. With this issue of bail is free. Wait, how you go explain that the bail within the key? That's where somebody supposed to pay for.
Well, I know, like, understand why people then they say then they pay for it. Now, let us look at the court bill. You understand? If you get a case, now we tell you, say, we need a credible surety, depending on the bail condition. You understand? But let us say, for instance, I get for pay Mohammed 200 million or 500 million. You understand? For the court bill. Now, when they say then grant you a bill to a tune of certain things, it not mean say you the pay. But we for believe in the person say should you wrong, you know you will come up. The instance where that person come with you in a court, one in that case, in a for let him recover in money. So we forget something where if you not turn up till the end of the trial, we want for ensure say this man gets justice for letting recover him money. So that's why at times you can see we they ask for Osmo, but we forget equilateral where they should say if anything happen, then this person they able to recover him money.
So this issue of the bail still in terms of you say they are the discretion of the magistrate or the judge for give bail, but earlier on you talk about minor offences the way at the first appearance person for go remand for go back in the house on bail, but we don't see instance them, you know, trespass case them where we don't see magistrates and the same people and go on remand for. So what's the consistency there in terms of how then they use their discretion also?
Fine. The bail and sentencing come in as a result of the inconsistency, and we don't discover say the inconsistency they dent with integrity, even though when we did one in good faith. You understand? Like for instance, you have wounding with intent. Where like the similarity in the same, the aggravating factors, they all come out clearly. Somebody commits an abo, will likely get the same features, the same characteristics, and the other one commits na Kenima. You will discover, say, the magistrate na Kenima will get in your sentence will differ from the one na Freetonia. So we don't see and say there is this inconsistency. So the principal thing where the bail and sentencing policy they address now the aspect of the inconsistency where they occur in bail as well as sentencing. So that is why even when you go through the document, you will discover say there is a specific range for sentencing for various crimes then, and there is a specific range for bail for various crimes then.
So after this, don't go to parliament, the magistrate or the judge will just get the discretion.
No,
they give bail or not they give bail.
The discretions are limited. You understand? Now we be discover say the discretions is not they are not regulated, but now they are regulated somehow. So in a situation outside a magistrate, when we have the policy, in a situation outside a magistrate or a judge pass a sentence will exceed the time frame, you understand, then any senior judge can pick up, reported by the media, any senior judge can pick and say, no, but this na so and so the policy say, or na so and so this document, this law say. So what is the essence? Why you do this? So we they begin like question, we they begin like check, even we own staff them. So that is the reforms the way we don't take place. Like I was talking about the case management. If una dey about expeditious trial in most cases in the courts today, it is as a result of them trainings then the way we undertake. In the trial for tell we say the judge and the magistrate is the head of the court. The lawyer they can dictate to we as to when a case will come up or whether in the absence or not. So unagoyeri say most times we don't throw cases they out of court because lawyers they need to cooperate. So if we say come at 12 o'clock, you not come at 12 o'clock, it means one, you know one treat the court seriously. And the court now a serious institution way for treat seriously. So if you not come, we need a hearing case, we need throw your case out of court.
Okay, well continue for the retreat. In name now Moses Lamin Kamara, in the public relations officer and spokesperson for the Salon.
But as we continue for look at the bail and sentencing policy we be talk about before we take that break day. Plenty people be done they suggest for decongest the prisons and now una the courts and they cause the congestion. So they be done they suggest say some petty crimes and the way, for example, then they suggest for people and they do community service and not for the going to the prison. This bail and sentencing policy cover this?
Yes, obviously in cover but let me just make one thing clear. The overcrowding in the correctional center, we we get a limit. When we convict or we see una detain, una keep, and can't give the person a court if we don't believe in you, then we can send them at the correctional center. The issue of overcrowding, even though not the sole responsibility of the prison, but we want to see how we get what we call the justice sector, how we all can together and see how to address issues then. Now, it could be overcrowding in the correctional center, it could be the size of the prison. Now, if we go back to history, it will tell you, say, the prison was originally built for something like 320 people, this Pademba Road. Now it's hosting more than 2,000, you understand. And two, it can be, say, no matter how we try for decongest, because of the increase in crime within in public domain, they also create overcrowding, not only at this correctional center, but in everywhere. I was part of the team we funded by UNDP, we embarked on the prison court. The prison court now, in fact, finding court wherein with the review, we nearly review all the trial cases and besides the convicted prisoners and all the trial cases in this country. The only place we're not going to Moyamba, and we discover, say, the issue of the crime rates they on the increase. It could be a societal problem. So
but in the instance where you go to prison, you talk to plenty of people already on remand, tell you say I don't know 2 years, I don't even go court. At the go court, they just say adjourn. You know, if you say in them people and give them plenty na the remand center, then at the prisons, then now responsible.
Well, I'm not going to say holistically now we responsible, because when you look at the operation of the judiciary, I don't tell you, I say we need to work on we own. You understand? Now, before we listen, before they can, in fact, cases come to us, not to we they go find cases then. When they come to we, you get two people and you get the defense and the state, you understand? Where the prosecuting cases they are so. Now, I don't tell you that before about the attitude of lawyers then where they can court at times, how some of them, not all, but few of them, how they can delay cases then, and we don't say, now we know they take them things then they, you understand? We get for insurance cases, they are expeditiously tried. But, and then they refuse waiting you to say. But for cases then where a judge or a magistrate will sit down on them, you understand? And they tell you for free, then cases then they will deal with them as quickly as possible. If not sentence with sentence, if not free with free. The cases then where you they raise up so when somebody go kind of court, we find out when we go into the prison court. Say some people they don't make 20 appearances, they kind of court, they appear before a judge, you understand, but they need to try them. These are the murder cases, and by law we not get anything for say a judge for sit down on a murder case alone. You understand? If now a murder case, and a murder case now a very serious case, the case for be tried by the jurors. You understand?
You go surprised for those even in traffic incidents, traffic cases. Then they now correctional center we get similar problem where we say I don't. There are 2 years. Some people don't take long on remand pass. Even the sentencing years where they for the crime where they stand trial for.
Med, I can tell you there are only two institutions we can tell you authoritatively about the issue in the prison. One, the judiciary, and of which I was part of that team. You understand?
So
and I'm coming. And two, the prison officers there. You understand? Even like the traffic offenses, the way they talk, like motor manslaughter is a very serious offense. Assuming say you drive without license, you go bang somebody and die. Now a very serious offense. Now I make I say part of the minor the traffic offenses then you discover say a single out motor manslaughter. Say now the only one upon first appearance we need to give you bail. You understand? Because a serious now life go. And that the case then where they talk about people and we don't in a prison for 2 years. Now the one then we did for murder. You know, murder na a very serious crime. If somebody where they allege say in kill, or maybe we can prove say the law can prove say in kill, you understand? That person they not fit for the society. Right. So we not go say because we not get the jurors they not there for trial, because the juror we get problem with the juror service. One of the design in the CPA is the fact that we they get the list of all people and we don't register, and we they pick if them be passer we they pick. Like if na 98 we pick 1, 2, 3, and it is compulsory that you for come. If you not come, they ensure so we take.
No,
we also look at that. Let me tell you one thing. Let us say we write your head of institution. We say, as Madia una send we people the way they can work as jurors. You know what? Right from the institution, they don't begin discourage them. You defend somebody where you feel say it is not in your good books. You say, well, can go punish yanda. And the jurors, they actually, we the judiciary, not get anything for them. So they are not finding it interesting.
In the reform,
yes, in the reform, we also look at we get for make it attractive. Let me tell you one thing. When we take the special session of the High Court, then we look at 2 judges, then try cases, then 320 cases, then in 19 days. So, which means if we get everything where we need, because in them cases, then because it is funded by RJP, waiting up in the jurors, then they provide for them transport, lodging, everything. So when they can afford, they sit down for morning 10 to 8 o'clock. So if they try 320 cases then in 19 days, that's for telling you, say, if we get with jurors and are they committed, you understand, we're able to get the learning camp, a trial case.
Quickly, and we will talk about this reform. You know, one other area where plenty people concerned, but in addition of them, file business in courts. We don't get plenty concern in that area. Even we as an institution don't suffer from that when they will go court at some point, you know, file a loss, they see the defense file. So what should they do? Because in this digital age, for Siauna cable electro, you know, it puts the file in the electronic form.
Mohamed, you are, I'm not going to say you are perfectly correct. File, they need a loss in a court, but we will say because now mortal man they handle them, and at times the file is small. Waiting me don't find out at times it's like you can end up or put one file into another file. You understand? But all that with the justice apps, with the justice apps, it gets every details, photo, every document where you present at the court with the snapper. And in the day that for decades, for years, nobody need able to tamper with her. Now it's a highly secured something. Yeah. So that's the address the issue of this concern with people in the race about missing file, and it also therefore creates space for we within the judiciary, because the thing where we encounter also now the aspect of space. If you work the court not small, you understand. But with the justice apps, if we get all them files then where we put now them filing rooms, then take some of them, go put them down sign our store locker, and then will create space for we. We want for assure people then that by the grace of God and the wisdom of the leadership of the judiciary, we will get a judiciary where they move towards judicial age. We not be ever get in the first place websites, but now we have websites. We not be they talk about justice apps. Now we they talk about justice apps. We they talk to some judges then they use computer. Now some of them they use computer. Right. And a lot of ICT training don't they go on. We go get there and we go live up to the expectation of the general public.
Lamin Kamara continue for the with 3 public relations officers at the Judiciary of Salon. We will come back to you. We will continue the program Good Morning Salon, and I want to welcome at the studio now Superintendent Ibrahim Samura, when head of police, media and public relations. Good morning and welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. My pleasure for the answer to family.
We don't get different information, but the incidents will happen at Campbell Street on Friday the 26th of January, but people way say some young people in chap themselves. But people only get different angle from this thing way up on Campbell Street. From the angle of the police, we don't have to protect life and property. And our presence been doing at Campbell Street that day. Waiting exactly may happen.
Thank you very much. What's actually happened as a result of the fact that Freetown don't become infested with gangs, criminal gangs, you know, and as a result of the fact that we get plenty criminal gangs with operating according to the gang culture, then they always take advantage, of crowd pulling events, crowd pulling occasions or crowd pulling situations for embark on criminal activities. The incident in Campbell Street was an unfortunate one. Unfortunate in the sense that, by and large, the nomination process especially that of the All People's Congress Party, you know, and even the SLPP party, been go on peacefully in many parts of the country. Now, I want to start with the 25. The 25 where SLPP come out, been relatively peaceful. Say even 10, where the place done the dark, now some members of the cliques or gangs begin jog phone, jog bag, you know, thief people in market, and so on. But then they not lead to any loss of life. Then the back will be able to make arrests. And on the 26th, where APC come out, I go around Freetown. Freetown very small for go round. Problem not be there. Almost all side. Say them 4 o'clock, they go 5 o'clock. We rival gangs or rival cliques. Then clash na Campbell Street. And if you know the gang culture, when gangs then clash, obviously na bloodshed. And when you get a particular gang where they operate in a particular area, it take that area there as in domain, in terrain, as in tough, and that no other gang member not for good day.
Okay.
And if you go there, no problem.
So the incident will be political.
For me,
from the investigation
so far, the investigation we on because it just happened.
Okay.
Right now, the end of the investigation will determine whether it gets political flavor or it not gets political flavor, because no matter where the under investigation. But we know the politicized crime.
Okay.
Not the police.
Looking at this issue of gangs, I remember that thing where you've been on the work on for quite a very long time.
Yes.
But it's as if police at some point don't relax, but don't let them for get away with things. And because this same Campbell Street, December 26, Boxing Day, where they will come out, the effect league. The same place again, January 1st, New Year's Day, the effect league. So now, for don't know now, say issue there around that area.
Yes, you're right. Let's start with the first part. It's an issue where I be done the work on. Yes, I be done the work on, and the police have be done the work on them. Right? We there before. We even create an office space in our police headquarters. Also, we get the students anti-violence movements. Will be the work hand in glove with the police. You know, for make sure say we address the issue. I mean, of gangsterism, cultism, and drug abuse in the country. But the people of this country been take the talk over the talk. They not treat them with the seriousness where it deserve. I will say this. They treat security issue with levity. We even go to the extent to tell parents them, you know, you pikin, if you see pikin, you wake in the morning, we're ready for dress, he gets a tie red bandana, that is, he gets red and kerchief na neck, na head, or he tie around a neck like muffler, he wear red t-shirt, he wear red trousers, even in crepe or shoe he gets na red, in socks na red, not so APC it is support. Now the corporate identity of the gang or clique where it belong to. Similarly, if you see you picking wear green, inside the green bandana, 98, it gets sometimes if you order muffler, say on a green back, green t-shirt, green trousers, green crepe. If you shoe self na black, they go paint and green. Not they can say na SLPP it is support. At all. What you do? Now their own corporate color, now their own corporate identity. For example, MOB, members of blood, they call on a red. So now make if we arrest somebody in red, I mean, let nobody not tell me say, now APC supporter, we don't go arrest. If the person commits offense in green, let nobody not tell me say, now SLPP supporter, the police don't go arrest, or now SLPP, right, don't create the problem. We for actually, I mean, deviate from politicizing crimes in this country. We arrest 56 people as a result of that unfortunate incident in Campbell Street. And we don't get the reason. We don't know the reason why make Campbell Street don't become a hot spot. Fine. The leader, right, of one of the cliques in this country, on a Freetown, na Campbell Street is the reside. Na Campbell Street is base. Which means, if the leader in here, that particular area they become a no-go area, right? So a member of a rival gang. If you go there na bloodshed, because then they always fight for supremacy, control of terrain, control of turf, control of domain. If find at times where we university, we academics that will get, maybe they do some research, you know, into some of the issues there where they affect, state security.
So since you know all this, what you want to do? Because now innocent people
Fine.
They suffer.
When that incident occurred at Campbell Street, based on the arrest we made, we begin to get intelligence. The intelligence lead me to number 104 Campbell Street, where police officers then go inside. We go conduct search day, and we discover the following items: 43 cutlass, shovels, 16. We also discover 5 pickaxes and some chisel. We discover chisel also.
Construction be the gun at the place.
That's not a very big question. You go feel say they are building materials, they are building implements, but they are offensive weapons because they don't get access to gun. They are offensive weapons. Now, weapons the way they use either for attack one another or for engage in armed robbery at night. When I say armed robbery, you don't mean say pass the boss you will gun. But any offensive weapon we use for go thief na net, right? Attack people. It stands amount to armed robbery. Okay. Now, once we observe, now that then get the potential, because as they look for crowd pooling events, crowd pooling occasions, then they infiltrate the ranks now of the various political parties, and especially the 2 main political parties. Then they infiltrate their ranks, because now they get crowd. They can easily dress like APC or SLPP. They work within it. They work within the supporters. And you go feel say they are just supporters of those political parties. And it is as if then they say they try now for divide themselves, you know, along political lines.
Okay.
And my advice to political parties, don't encourage them. These are criminal gangs.
Right.
They are out there to tarnish you.
Right. Continue for the return as Superintendent Ibrahim Samora in a head of police.
Quickly before Calvato Moses, ASP, you have a comment on this particular incident in Calvato. How far police don't go with that?
Yeah, well, 5 people in custody, right, including the owner of the diggings vehicle, the grounded vehicle, moving park, at the compound. Also, police still good for pool, the entry picking the day. Of course, between the way now 3 and 6 months old, then they are alive, nothing not to them, then carry them to hospital, doctor will handle them over to them parents then, but still then they under medical observation. The 4-year-old Bobo, of course, yes, Ibrahim Kamara, in the police discover dead when they opened the motorcar. He don't die already. Of course, the rationale behind that and the reason for all incident, in fact, what make the Pekin die, so we get for determining the cause of death, and the pathologist, now get for determining the cause of death, which actually killed, that particular Pekin, how he died. For say then go the wrong form, well, this navigation first way, I'm not going for subscribe to, but at times it is possible to say something not to the wrong form then go with, but waiting them for do the other for fill the form, do not fill and so. Okay. The pathologist get right for tell the policeman say take this form, go back, and may then do the appropriate thing, may them do the right thing.
In case like this gets so much public interest,
Yeah, if I got so much public interest.
How fast they work on us so that
well, very fast.
Go get
very fast because most of what's in for say, I mean, I think when a reporter report somebody, we actually talk some of the things that we have for don't see because the prime suspect now an Islamic cleric and they run a charity organization, an Islamic charity organization what they call Dawood Biril Charitable Foundation. Yes, they say Namawi don't use for the give sweets to them picking them. The youth them, in fact, when police get this information from the Comra, we alert all police officers within Calabar Town, Kisi, Wellington, and even beyond for letting themselves go on the search. The following morning, that was on Thursday morning, because the Comra go reports Wednesday evening, saying Peking lost from 12 o'clock that Wednesday day. Then it took the twins them and not see them at all. So the police decide for send message around to police officers and urge police officers and forgo on the search. So Thursday morning, the police gets the OC na Calabar Town get telephone call from the OC na Obi's police post say they don't discover one vehicle where they see people picking them inside. So the police get forgotten and call the local unit commander at the KC division instead of sending reinforcements within team. Then go see them picking there. Right? And then struggle for open that motoka, for fully picking them inside the motoka. But the youth them na Calabar Town, especially Kuroma Street, right? Oh, they mean become so desperate, send for take the loan at the and they even want for put the house where the man been there on fire. You know, had it not been for the timely intervention of the police, he ended up back, the stone policeman in the back, we sustained injuries as a result of the stone where they stoned them. And one Range Rover, grey Range Rover, of course, they ransacked that Range Rover, they damaged all the windscreen, damaged them completely. You know, for now, 5 people and then custody, right, including one woman. Okay. You know, where they help the police with investigation regarding that.
Alright, we'll continue for the retweet. Superintendent Ibrahim Samoa, head of police media, I'll cover to Moses Lamin Kamara again. We are the public relations officer and spokesman for the Leone Judiciary. We continue the program, and now this is an election period, and already we don't see petition cases. They don't come up, you know, injunction them. We don't see the election courts when we don't set up, but generally for us, how they handle them case them with, especially for relates to elections.
Yeah, we always they plan on projected things. We don't the implicit say obviously the setting of the courts. If you read section 131 of the 1991 Constitution, they tell you say the Honorable Chief Justice get the mandate 6 months to any general election for set up an electoral offences court. We exclusively they look at election offences related matters then. If you watch at section 137 of the Public Election Act 2012, they tell you say that court not a division of the High Court. So in other words, the electoral offences court get the High Court status. So that is why if you further read the act and they tell you say the people that will preside on that court, they should be judges of the High Court, except if you are a retired judge. So retired judge, you could be a Supreme Court judge where you don't retire, or you can be High Court judge or the Court of Appeal where you don't retire. You can come in and sit in that court. That is 2. And 3, if you not a lawyer, we don't due for like you have spent something like 10 years and more, you don't reach the status of an High Court judge, the Chief Justice can appoint. So on the 11th of October, we will also see, besides the Chief Justice having the mandate of setting the court, but and begin for appoint 10 judges for let them set up the electoral offences court. And in then 10 judges, then the 8 of the judges then will be part of the newly appointed judges then we get 2 in our old High Court judges then, including the Honorable Justice Combat Commander. And the other additional information we want to let people then know, for the first time in the history of Sierra Leone, they get an High Court. So in other words, the resident judge na Kennyman no longer the guna kono, because we discover say the crime rate na kono they increase and people and they in custody. So by the same way the sorry with the resident judge they move do the cases then can kono, other people then will suffer and that. So the Honorable Chief Justice do appoint a judge with the guna kono. So by extension, that judge is also part of the Electoral Offences Court. So it don't be a total of 11 judges then with the sit on the court. And also the Chief Justice, because then judges there, so we need for serve them and surely, because one key thing about the Electoral Offences Court is that matters must be tried expeditiously. So the Chief Justice in a wisdom also appoints a supervising judge. We get a role, a restricted role, waiting at the role when they play for ensure the judges then get the appropriate court society they sit on, for ensure security is provided, then get all the things that we necessary for let them be efficient in the dispensation of justice. We now the Honorable Justice Montfort say in the interface with the support staff, like even like me, they get meeting and talk what we need for educate the people then in the direct say at times.
So now what kind of cases they will not go look at?
Yeah, we look at one civil matters and like the cases that we don't come up, the 6 cases then where we don't look at where they deal with petition and also the transfer of registration for the 2 myriad cases then they are civil cases then. But the Electoral Offences Court they look at criminal matters then as well. And you know the essence of the criminal for ensure say let human being treat them come to human being as human being, not like animal. And by so doing, we make the world a better place. So that is why if we enjoy the space provided with people and the rally people and the dance, sing, we can't see lawyer. Now as a result of the role of the judiciary, we have the mandate. Police get a limited thing.
Part of the criminal case that will become up, we know really much about now the voter registration. The people that we necessarily do double registration, waiting that happen to that.
So we need a comment on any matter we not come before we only tell people
the
and say they not come before we only tell people and say the cases that don't open, the court don't open, and we don't see cases that we don't try expeditiously. For all of the cases then we don't come before we don't try them within 48 hours and bring them to conclusion. But these are petition cases then. But let us look at the cases then where they affect the general public, because that is our concern. You understand? They won't have this information from the politicians, and they get constant interaction with the politician. Not that they don't know, they know, but they're not going to tell them. You understand? Or rather, the police, if the police not tell them, they tell them. And now, for instance, Ahmed, let me look at one of the unlawful possession of voters' ID card is a crime. One, in unlawful, if you hold ID card where you're not supposed for hold.
That's not you get.
If not, you get her. Is a crime, and with police they charge you. And if police charge you, then they go through the law officers department for legal advice. They come within a court with a trial.
In terms of the operation of this Electoral Offences Court, how did it happen? Are the people in the can directly to the court, or you need to go through police or NEC?
Well, we get the criminal side where we look at. Now, like when we say the lawful possession of voters' ID card, you understand? You they go through the police, and you can even access the court. Like then cases there where we look at on the Electoral Offences Court. These are people then we directly can meet the court and summon, and we get them people there. So we look at the issues then and we come into conclusion. But most of them crimes they are so like when we can get this campaign period rally, we expect lots of them crimes and like the one way on a reference. Like for instance, like the alleged murder case we happen. If police then do the investigation, you understand, then submit the file to the law officers department, then advise them take a legal action can court. Like that case, they even though when it happened within an electoral activity, you understand, now the election activity they go on will lead to the murder. Like then cases then we need to look at other the Electoral Offences Court. The reason being is that in fact the Electoral Offences Court need to look at death penalty. Like for instance, when somebody murder they find you wanting now a death penalty. So then cases then they go to the General Criminal Court. Now then they look at them. So even though they commit the offense during the electoral period. But also let me say, Mohammed, Ahmed, you get your wife in a house, then you unlawfully retain in ID card, or you seize am, or you dey in possession of a voter registration. Maybe sometimes you work then at party A, then you then at party B. You don't talk to her and say, no, na yanda I go dey. Then you say, well, me na the man. You understand? You take that card, na a crime. If they report you, na police, then they come with you, will they try you. The reason being is that if anything, if people are not can meet we need to try. You understand? Now, if there's a political meeting, party A gets meeting, you na party B, you dey party B, then you go disrupt party A in meeting, is also a crime. Let us say during the election day, if you go vote, then when you don't go vote, by law, as you vote, you for move from that point. Then you did it absolutely, you don't get anything for today. Then you are also committing a crime. If you dey work for NEC, you give a ballot paper to somebody where you're not supposed to give a ballot paper, now a crime. Because there are certain times where they get an issue of where they say people and they vote where they not even register. Now, if you dey below the age for votes, you go end up for vote, then discover that it's also a crime. You understand? That is to say, if you are not entitled to vote, you go vote, it's also a crime. And if you use even then within the electioneering process, then public other offenses then we're pending to the election, you understand, you can also be brought forward by the police, you understand, for their offenses then they. So we get so many offenses then, like for instance, you prevent, you obstruct, you disturb, or you use by force for any election threat, is also a crime. But many a times we see even the political leaders, political players then they make even other people and they make their statement and they. So we they try for say people must know waiting at some of their offenses they are so, and how we determine for handle them. The Honorable Chief Justice before now don't meet with international organizations then. You understand? And the key concern, I remember the EU team come, they say how prepared are we, and say in the assure people and say the international community and say we they get fair and expeditious trial. And one thing where it stand out, because there is one thing about we Sierra Leoneans then, people that they raise up the issue of Kenya and other areas. You understand? You they take best practice, but most times in legal issue, it's not easy. Let you see two cases likely be the same. You understand? So we want to make that clear. But waiting we don't do under the leadership of the Honorable Chief Justice for show with preparedness. One, we do appoint the judges there and appoint a supervising judge. And the supervising judge, when an Honorable Justice Monfred Cisse, and with Honorable Justice Robert, when a Supreme Court judge, then come together under the leadership of the Chief Justice and furthered by UNDP. With the Judiciary do a compendium, because one of the things that really affects expeditious trial within the court system now the access to authority. Authority in the sense legal document then or books then or references then where lawyer can use. So you will see at times lawyer will come at court and say, okay, no, these documents are not carried. So for ensure say election matters, they are serious matters. In as much as we they provide space for let people exercise their political right, we also then want for let them be mindful of the fact say they are guarded by the law. We do a compendium, and the compendium gets all relevant legal document there where they aid expeditious trial. Then get like the 1991 Constitution, then get about 12 acts then where we put together legal document and the CPA where they ensure say if lawyers they cannot court, nobody no go say, hey, don't forget this book, or can we just adjourn this? No. When they cannot court, now we provide them. We do a print of it, we provide them, we give the media, we give legal aid board, we give the bar association, we give the Sierra Leone police, we give everybody when a key player in the justice sector.
We'll come back to you, Moses Camara, the public relations officer.
We look at message and comments everyone on drop on Facebook, and also with text line 0777 981 981. And the first one will take for MJ Amara on Facebook say I totally agree with Moses, because based on the outcome of some ruling, defense lawyers' response that some cases are argued on a particular date, that the case is characterized by falsehood and characterized by the withdrawal of several witnesses, further revealing that the motion to adjourn the case on the said date until other dates were already in motion, because the defense lawyers may perceive that there is certainly a rotting underbelly of the case that the prosecutor has swallowed hook, line, and sinkers. Severely speaking, our justice system is nothing good to write home about.
This other message they say Radio B, the police know all the cliques and their typos in Freetown. Inspector Sama in the studio knows all of them, so please ask him why the police can't control them.
Abubakar Ban, Facebook Good Morning 98.1, asked the Superintendent Samora if the police arrest the head of the two cartels. Please, if yes, what are your plans for them to set example?
This other message say, Moses, I have a case in court. The case has ended, but we have been waiting for the judge to deliver judgments for the past 6 months now. Why does the Chief Justice allow judges to keep judgments long over the statutory period? This is the main reason for delayed judgments. The Chief Justice is no different from the other Chief Justice before him.
Mukish did on Facebook say, we supporting the police in this issue. Let's be real here, the elections will come and go, and Sierra Leone will remain.
This other one say, if a judge or magistrate dies, should that be the end of one's case? If no, we have to